Hi everyone, welcome to Getting to Know Kingman. I'm your host, Earl Hamlyn. All right, folks, you know the elections are right around the corner for the city, which is in May, and I have a really special guest today because I have one of our present city council members and also a candidate for re-election, Carole Young, is going to be with me. So don't go away. We've got a lot of show for you, a lot of information, and we'll be right back after these messages. You're watching Getting to Know Kingman. Don't go away, and be sure to get out there and vote, folks. Your votes count. Hi everyone, welcome back to Getting to Know Kingman, and welcome my guest, City Council Member Carole Young. Hi Carole, how are you?
Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for being here. I know how busy you are with the city business and also out on the campaign trail. All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Let's kind of jump into this because we got a lot to talk about and short time to talk about it.
Okay, I've lived in Kingman 22 years. I've been married 44 years to a former Marine and Vietnam vet. I have 3 sons.
And that is Bud.
That is Bud.
Okay.
And
we like Bud. He's a good guy.
I love Bud. He's a great guy.
You can love him, we can like him.
I have 3 sons, 9 grandchildren.
Wow.
I am a former business owner. I did own a business here in Kingman at one time, so I do understand how difficult it is in these economic times for businesses to stay in business. I love Kingman. And I retired here, so I am going to stay here.
And you also work for Frontier and Mojave Wireless?
I did.
As well.
I was a vice president of sales, marketing, customer service for Frontier. I was the corporate vice president of marketing and sales in their Dallas office for 3 years for acquisitions. I also brought in the first internet product to Mojave County. I co-designed it, co-engineered it, implemented it, and rolled it out so that the residents in Mojave County could have the same technological advances as metropolitan areas.
Good.
So bringing in new services is not new to me. Thinking outside the box is not new to me. So that's one thing that I do bring to the table at the council is innovative thinking.
Good. Okay, tell me a little bit about why you wanted to be a city council member. I know it's been a while because you've been on the council,
4 years.
4 years?
This is my 4th year.
So let's kind of do a little history here. Let's go back a little bit. What motivated you? Because a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's so easy. I'm going to go out and campaign, get signatures, and I'm going to be a city council member. And what motivated you to get to because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It is not easy. It takes a lot of commitment and dedication. The reason I ran the first time is because we had bonds. They had bonds on the ballot, and specific bonds was for public safety, and they did not pass. And I realized, being in communications myself and a network engineer at one time, I realized that the communications for the public safety was not up to par. It was getting obsolete, and they were having radio failures all the time. So I thought, well,
Okay, let me interrupt you. Who was having radio failure?
Public safety, fire department, 911.
Oh, okay.
They were having failures. Okay. So I decided I would run and help promote and advocate for communications upgrades, which we did. And I'm very proud that one of the things that we did accomplish was upgrade those radios and replace those radios so that they are at an advanced technology. I'm also proud that the 911 center was moved because that was one of my goals, was to get that moved away from the area it was. They were congested. They are a very stressful group, and they needed to have a little more room to get up and stand up, which they did not have.
What do you mean stressful group? Because the
911 calls, they make life and death decisions every second. So they did need to have an environment that was more comfortable to the duties that they do.
Okay, let me interrupt. Here's what I find kind of fascinating. I know the 911 call centers had some controversy. And a lot of folks, kind of like grandparents when their children graduate from school. Okay, my kids went to school, so why do I have to pay school taxes? You know, they're out. I don't need to do it. And the 911 center is really kind of the same way. A lot of folks say, well, we don't really need this extravagant, you know, all this stuff until they have a heart attack or involved in a car accident. And then that phone call is the most important phone call in the world.
That's exactly right. And
so you need that communication.
We have to keep up on that technology. We need to make sure that not only do we know where those residents are when they call in on a landline phone, we need to locate them on a cell phone too,
Right. 'Cause now
because
everybody has one.
seconds make a difference.
It does.
Seconds make a difference. And with the 911 center, we were very fortunate to have a revenue opportunity. We now dispatch to 4 other fire departments and bring in revenues to kind of offset the budget money, the general fund money that was going to 911. They're an enterprise group now that's going to support themselves eventually.
Okay, is it kind of frustrating for you when the public says, well, why do we need a bigger building? Why do we need, why do we need better communications? Why can't we just use 2 cans and a string, okay? No, I mean people, they have a tendency to not think forward sometimes. And I'm not
Right.
saying all people, but I'm saying, sometimes you think, how much is enough? Do we have to have the most modern technology in the world? And I understand that,
It's not frustrating. It's human nature to question. And if they didn't question, then I would feel like I wasn't doing my job, because it's up to me to educate them why we're doing this. The 911 centers are responsible for all medical calls that come in. Our fire department is dispatched to every medical call. Now, they may not call an ambulance service, but they treat every single patient that they're called on. Now, the 911 center has to have the knowledge and technology to be able to communicate with the firemen to let them know what is going on with that patient, and also communicate with that patient until the fire department gets there. So it's very important that we keep up with the technology.
A lot of folks don't realize how important the paramedics are, and we have one of the best, for the size of area that we have, the size of town that we have, we have one of the best fire departments in the world. I mean, these guys are unbelievable.
Our firemen
women.
are all
Women.
trained. They're trained for paramedics. They go out on every single medical call, and they're the ones that treats that patient. Some cities have their own ambulance service. The Bullhead City, over 37 years, they have had their own ambulance service.
Do you think we need our own ambulance service?
I think it's possible that it would benefit us. It would give us revenues to offset the operations of the fire department like Bullhead City does. They depend on that revenue to pay for it subsidizes other operations of their
So
department.
does that funding come from grants or taxes?
That funding, well, they have grants. There are grants for startup, there's grants for equipment, but the revenue comes from the patient. Instead of paying
I
an ambulance service, a private ambulance service, you pay the fire department
I see. Okay.
service. And I'm not saying that our city should do that, but it's a possibility to bring in revenue rather than raise sales taxes. It's an opportunity to maybe evaluate.
Sure.
I think we should evaluate that,
yeah,
because over 2 million residents of Arizona are served by fire department ambulance services. I know right now we take over $5 million out of our general fund budget for specific fire department. And I know the Bullhead City has told me that revenue from those customers pay for and subsidizes their operations.
I see.
So that would free up some budget money, general fund budget money, but I'm not saying we have to do this. I think it should be evaluated. I think we should look at it.
Well, also the 911 calls also involve the police department as well.
Yes.
And again, we have one of the best police departments.
We have
for
one.
our
We
community
have.
of this size.
I'm partial. I think our fire department, police department, is the best. But and I've lived in large cities too, and I've lived in small cities. But I do think we have compassionate people, caring people, and it takes a special type of person to work at the police department and the fire department, and we have those people.
Okay, now in the 4 years that you've been on the city council, what have you learned?
What have I learned? I've learned that we need to support our local businesses more. Economic development to me is one of the most important areas that we should be focusing on. I've learned that we need more new businesses here, shopping, retail, but we also need industry. And we can't just depend on the airport to bring in industry. I think we need another industrial corridor that the city actively goes out and recruits. And we have the Economic Development Commission, which I was responsible for forming and they're doing a great job. They're doing a lot of things. So I've learned that we need to focus on economic development more than some of the other things that we've done.
Okay, so how are we going to get, because here's the problem that I see a lot of times. A lot of folks say, we want to support our local business, but then they go in and the tire's $2 higher than they can get it off of eBay or another town or whatever. And they say, okay, but you got to compete with the other guys, and then we have the Walmart philosophy. We put people out of business, not help them stay in business. So how do we convince the public that shopping local is better for them than shopping out of the area?
Well, we're not going to be able to convince the public. That's not the city's job. It's the local retailer. That's their responsibility to be to have the product priced right for the community
and have the exposure for the residents as well.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of people don't know what kind of businesses we have in Kingman.
And that's a problem. One thing, when I was working with Shop Local, I found that residents didn't know where all the businesses were. And we had a lot of businesses that went out of business before people realized that we had them.
Business, yeah.
Another thing and the Economic Development Commission, I coordinated a marketing seminar for small business just so that they could network and get the exposure to the different marketing facilities and things that they needed to maybe focus on their pricing and even getting their name out there more. I also found out that there were residents that thought we didn't have good customer service. So we also did a customer service workshop that focused on customer service so that the businesses who wanted to take advantage of that could come and find out some hints and things to do. It was very well attended. And now that the chamber is focusing on doing small business seminars for our local businesses too. They've kind of taken on that step. So.
Okay, I got to take a little break here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. And I want to know how the campaign trail's going.
All right.
Do you need a pathfinder for the campaign trail?
No.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be right back after these messages. You're viewing Carole Young, City Council member, and running for re-election for City Council as well. So remember, get out there and vote in May. Carole's going to tell you the exact date when we get back. We'll be right back after these messages. You're watching Getting to Know Kingman. Don't go away. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Getting to Know Kingman, and welcome back my guest, Carole Young, City Council member and a candidate for re-election for City Council for the City of Kingman, Arizona. All right, you and we've had some lengthy debates about some of the stuff that's gone on in Kingman. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we agree not to disagree anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What about downtown? Okay, I know a lot of folks, there's a lot of attention about downtown. A lot of folks have a number of different opinions about downtown. Some folks want to revitalize, some folks want it to go away. Tell me what your thoughts are about downtown.
My opinion, downtown should be the life of Kingman. It should be a focal point. Many downtowns in the Midwest are renovating where there's becoming more activity. In order to bring more activity downtown, we really need the property owners' buy-in. We have a lot of property owners that do not live in Kingman, they live away, and their focus is not as prominent as the city and some of the commissioners and council people. I would love to see downtown revitalized. I know we're going to be doing some streetscape and some walkways to the powerhouse over so they'll make it more accessible. I think the curbing and stuff should be done, but then a lot of the businesses did not agree to do that.
Well, let me interrupt here, because we have a number of businesses now that are actually attracting folks to downtown. We have Dora's Beale Street, attracting people all over the place downtown. We have Rednecks that are attracting. The coffee house is doing a good job. The wine store, I can't think of the name of it, but the wine
Cellar Door.
Cellar Door. Okay, they're attracting folks downtown. A lot of folks are saying, hey, we need more activities downtown because these few businesses are really getting a lot of attention.
We have Beale Street Brews, we do have. You also have landlords who have to price their rent reasonable too. And I don't know what the going rate is now. It was 50 cents a square foot. In this economy, I don't know a lot of retail.
But even if they're out-of-towner landlords, we still need to kind of promote downtown and help. So what I'm getting at is, would you be opposed to putting together like a committee to kind of find out what we can do for downtown, even cheaply, if nothing else?
Well, we have the
Or
downtown
inexpensively.
merchants
Sorry,
that do a lot downtown. We have the chamber that does a lot. I would be willing to serve on a committee, but I would not be putting it together as a city function. I know the city does promote downtown for different things. Our tourism, we have a great tourism commission. They promote the downtown. I think with the downtown, the thing that the city could do is maybe form some ordinances where you don't have boarded up windows and you have your
also some
painted
ordinances
buildings
that they can put tables and chairs out on the sidewalk and an umbrella and things like that. We have a lot of folks that would like to come and have lunch or
the city should make it easy for businesses to be able to do that,
cooperate with the businesses,
so that the people and the customers can feel relaxed and go outside if they want to go out. I agree with that. I do believe also that the city needs to look at their permits and their licensing processes to make it easier for people to do business downtown. I would love to see Kingman revitalized. I went back east and there was a small town that they did do ordinances and all of the businesses, they cannot have signs, but they can have awnings with their name printed on it, which look beautiful. So I think there's some things the city can do, but I think mostly it falls on the responsibility of the businesses promoting their own businesses and the landlords stepping up to the plate to improve their business.
Okay, Carole, the reason I was asking about downtown is because I know how dedicated and for lack of a better term, obsessed you are with economic development. Tell me, now you have some plans to get to attend a convention. Tell me about that.
Okay, first let me talk a little bit about economic development. Economic development to me is not just bringing in new business. It is business retention. It is revitalization of our downtown area. It's bringing in new people, housing development and stuff like that. So to me, it covers a large scope. Yes, the Economic Development Commission is going to be going to Las Vegas to an international shopping center convention. We did go last year. We had a booth. The convention is a combination of developers, investors, realtors, landowners, decision makers of high corporate offices. And we had about 300 people come to our booth last year.
Wow.
And we gave out information. We do have a very good handout that we handed out. And
show the viewers.
Okay.
Now this is going out to all the folks that attend the...
This is given out to all the decision makers that come to the booth, and the marketing committee is also sending this to leads that we get.
Good, okay.
And what it says move here, live here, grow here, and work here. So it's a very good collateral piece, and it shows that we are the crossroads of Arizona, that I-40 goes through, 93, Route 66, so we are an economic hub. So the Economic Development Commission is finally starting to market Kingman as an economic hub.
Good.
And at this convention, we talk to the decision makers. We have community profiles that they can pick up that the commission has created through staff. We also have a book of all of the land that's available in Kingman. So a decision maker can come or a developer and look and see everything that's available in Kingman that they could purchase or develop on. We have a video that they can watch that tells about the community and the pros and cons of our community. And we are going to go again this year. We're hoping to take the council members and the mayor. Last year we took 4 council people, and the mayor did not go, but he was busy. And this year I think he is planning on going. I hope so.
Yeah, you can only take so many council
We
members
can only take so many.
because of the quorum thing.
Right, but we work it out where they're not there at the same time. So it gives them an idea to talk to the decision makers of the city to learn about, zoning and land, and we're also going to take some financiers and some realtors with us so that
So
they
what do you expect to get out of this?
Well, last year we got 16 leads. And one is going to pan out. We have one that is definitely going to build in 2012. I can't say who it is right now, but this person, they came, they're the decision maker, they talked to us. That day we called a realtor, set up an appointment the next day for them to come and look at property, and finally it's been purchased, and I believe they're going to be building.
Okay, so what area is this property in? Can you,
I can't say.
Okay.
I can't say. But that's one lead.
Before you go, let's tell the viewers why you can't say. Because a lot of the folks that do this, they want
privacy.
and they want
confidentiality.
Confidentiality, and they want to make sure that no one
their competition
overshadows
right.
them, and et cetera. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we had one lead that
It's
panned
not
out.
that we don't want to tell you, we can't.
Yeah, we had one lead that panned out, and the budget for economic development is very small. They use very little money. Even the marketing seminars and the customer service seminars that we did not cost the city anything. It was all volunteers.
Okay, so with this one lead, how many jobs do you think that's going to be brought to the area? Just a ballpark.
I would say probably 35, 40 jobs.
Okay.
It's going to bring in sales tax to the city.
Sure. Okay.
So, and that's one thing that we really need to look at.
So it sounds like it's a retail business.
It's
possibly.
It's going to bring in some sales tax.
Okay.
And some other tax.
Okay.
But that's one thing that I think economic development, and I'm so passionate about economic development because I believe this is where we should be getting our revenue and not raising sales tax, but bringing in more sales tax, more businesses, more manufacturing to create jobs. So.
Okay, with the economy the way it is right now, how do you think Kingman stacks up? I mean, are we doing pretty good? Or are we not doing so good? We're hanging in there?
I think we're getting better. There, at one time, we were losing some businesses. The Chamber did a business walk last year. I participated in it. And the businesses, I visited about 20 businesses, and they all said they were doing good. They were hanging in there. We're going to do another walk in a couple weeks, so I can't kind of generate the feelings right now. But I think the sales tax has gone up in the city. We have not raised sales tax, but we did raise bed tax.
Bed tax, right.
And we did raise lodging or food and beverage.
See, a lot of folks, here's the problem I have too. A lot of folks think that growth is inconvenient. It creates traffic, it's inconvenient for them, they don't want it. But also, if you look at it from another side of the street, growth helps keep taxes down as well, because the more people that come in, the more people that are buying things and doing things. So it actually helps us to have some growth.
It helps because the city of Kingman, the only revenue that we have to operate the city and provide the services that everybody wants comes from sales tax. So we are at a point that we need revenues. I mean, we don't have an expense problem anymore. We have looked at the budget, we have cut every place we can cut, and we need revenue. And the only way you're going to bring in revenue is either to increase the sales tax or economic development and bring in businesses or provide some service that's going to bring in revenues. I am not one to raise sales tax. I will not do that. But that's how we run.
Okay, I'm running out of time, so why don't you tell the viewers when they can vote?
Okay, May 15th, the precincts will be published in the newspaper, and I hope everyone gets out to vote. If you want an absentee ballot, you still can get one, just called voter registration. And I'm also asking for your vote, Carole Young for Kingman City Council.
Thank you, Carole, very much for being here, and thanks for being on City Council.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for everyone who serves the public. It's a great thing to do. And you work hard.
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Well, and you know, you and I have known each other a long time, but you work hard for our city, and a lot of folks think that a lot of people don't work for the city, but you do. You work really hard for the city. So good luck in the elections.
Thank
okay?
you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Remember, get out there and vote May 15th for the city. And the county guys are coming up here in August 28th, I think it is. So get out there and vote. This is your time. It's your show. Get out there and vote. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.